I'm not sure who's in the hospital right now, me or him,
Or me in a wheelchair.
or her in the wheelchair. I thought it was me in the hospital, but I don't know anymore. Anything you want to say?
Family affair.
Family affair? Okay. All right. You comfortable?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
You're on the heart
too.
pillow?
Yeah.
All right. Good.
I'm gonna fall asleep.
Okay. So even though they don't know what the infection is and the surgery is not scheduled yet, my mind is focused on the recovery. And a big part of that is the nutrition, the fitness and nutrition. And then for lunch today, I tried to get a hamburger, but they nixed that. So I got the grilled chicken. Transparently, I thought there'd be a bun, but it was just grilled chicken, which is fine. And then I have the chicken noodle soup. I have this high protein gelatin and a cookie. But the big thing about that is the mindset. My mind is focused on the recovery and what I can do now to enhance that, what I need to do to recover faster. And a big part of that is the protein. It's the protein, it's the mindset, it's the movement. It's Sunday night. I'm exhausted. I don't think I've ever taken more medication in my life than I have today. Excited to go to sleep. Only really sleeping in a recliner. Staff is really good. I got my Breathe Right strip. Totally helps. Got my IV. I don't know if you can see it. My IV's there. Yeah. Again, just mentally staying prepared for the rehab. 4:30 in the morning. Hooked up to a new IV. Weight's pretty much the same, which is good. But the chest pains with any kind of transfers, that's what gets me. Even small transfers up and down from a chair. Sitting helps and standing helps. It's something you gotta go through, but definitely prefer to not have that chest pain. So hopefully the surgery takes care of that. From that vein, she stuck it, and she did it right. No blood came out, so I think I'm a vampire, but I'm not really sure.
You're allowed.
No blood, no blood.
Zero.
So, interesting day today. I found out my surgery should be on Thursday, which is 2 days. Today is Tuesday. Was supposed to get a bigger IV, and then the lady doing it thought I might have a blood clot. She was right, but it's in the opposite arm. So now I have 2 IVs in one arm. I was hooked up to 2 IVs going through the same arm. So I don't think that affects the surgery. I mean, I understand 1 IV in one arm, but 2 IVs in one arm, but that's what it is. So I got 1 IV there. And then another one over there. The second one is the big one. That's the one they want to use for imaging. So trying to stay positive. Today, my parents were here pretty much all day. Yesterday, Joanna was with me all day. So it gets a little lonely at the end of the night, but I'm usually tired. I try to go to bed. And then still, when I talk too long, this has been about a minute video, you can still feel the tightness. Another cool thing, I think I mentioned when I was at Kent, one of the residents was writing his weekly case paper on me because I joked. I said, you can use me for your dissertation. And he's like, I'm writing it. It's been my weekly case. And then today, this morning, a doctor that's not on my team came to meet with me. And he's like, do you mind if I bring in 3 Harvard medical students to go over your case? Basically kind of like a sample practical we would do in PT school, right? You kind of act it out, but in this case, it was a real patient. So that was pretty fun. Took about probably 45 minutes to an hour, and then it was their first time doing it in the hospital. So even me as a PT clinical instructor, when I did that, kind of the same things that you would do. Obviously, the stakes are higher for the med students, but it was fun. It was a good time. So I met with the surgical team. They came in, not the head doctor, but I'm going to do some tests today. Hopefully get the surgery, I'm thinking Thursday. So today I went to order breakfast like normal. I'm on a special diet now because of the test, so just waiting for that. In the meantime, just been watching some Tony Robbins, watching some Netflix. I've said before in the podcast, one of my favorite quotes from Bashar is, circumstances don't matter. Circumstances don't become real. Only your state of being matters. So it's really about keeping your state of being level happy. Interestingly enough, Tony Robbins says very similar things in a different way. Let me look at my notes over here because I take notes on a notepad. Notebook, I should say.
A few moments later.
Yeah, so Tony Robbins says master your own state, so your state of being.
If you master your state, you master your life.
One of the best ways to do that is by moving your body. So, I've done that with exercise pretty much my whole life without knowing it, right? I especially like working out in the morning to get my head on straight. So that's mastering your own state.
One eternity later.
Then basically, what are you focusing on? So am I focused on I need a new valve, or am I focusing on, well, after the valve, let's say that again. So am I focusing on like, poor me, I need a valve, or am I focusing, I need a valve so I can live better, right? So what is my focus? Is it I'm going to be focused on the dangers of the surgery, or am I going to be excited that I need the surgery to get better? So it's what you're focused on and what the meaning of that is. Either way, I need a surgery. What is the meaning of assigning that? I'm joking with some people that I'm going to be bionic when I come back. I send like the Iron Man post because I look a little bit like Iron Man, I think. But it's just each day we have decisions to make, what Tony Robbins says. So, just sticking with that. And hopefully I can talk to the nurse so I can see what I can eat for breakfast. So a little bit of a rough night. Definitely started taking some oxycodone twice now, so every 4 hours. Actually, pretty much woke up at the end of the first 4 hours and had another. I learned that the endocarditis, the nurse said that those patients are usually the worst. They look horrible. They can't do much. So I always try to not take any pain medication, but it definitely takes the pain from it was like an 8 or 9 down to 0. So just trying to manage that, because when you're having chest pains and it's tight and it's just harder to do everything, you don't want to move. So I'm thankful for the fact that it takes my pain away. I can get some rest. So it's the day before surgery. I get to take a shower and I have to do it with this on my arm, but I can't really move it any higher. It's just right there. And then I have to do it with my friend. So this should be interesting. And this arm has a blood clot. So I need to use the arm with the blood clot to wash my whole body. This should be fun. It's the night before surgery. Every night around this time. Well, not every night, but past few nights. Severe chest pain, just from laying down. So hopefully get those pain meds, go to sleep. Can't eat or drink after midnight. So, man, stuff is painful.